Alright guys, I am back, and this will be my final video on this illustration, Spiral versus Psylocke, and I got a little more work done on it, changed a few things, but I finished up all this area, her arm, her hand, and now I'm going to do her hair. So this one will be particularly focused on hair, particularly women's hair. Yeah. I'm going to talk a little lower because my kids are in bed and my wife is going to bed soon. So, if I'm whispering, it's because I'm trying to be quiet. Alright, so let me mount this up and we'll get going. Thank you for joining me once again. And, Psylocke hair. I need some reference, so I got my trusty old X-Men Extinction Agenda. This is a beast. This collects the whole Extinction Agenda story, and it's by a few different artists actually. It's got Rob Liefeld, and I think the other artist would be, I don't know if it's Simonson or what. Not too familiar with his work, but yeah, it might be Simonson. Kind of looks like it might be. But anyway, there's some great stuff from Jim Lee, doing some Psylocke with a gun. That one over there, that's just sweet. So, focusing on her hair, you know, is purple, but you know, a lot of it is going to be black. So, they got the highlights. Basically, is the only area you're going to see the purple. And then obviously you got all the hair kind of just flying and flapping in her face, showing the motion, the action, and then you have all the highlights are going to be purple, so stuff like that. So that's kind of what I'm going to do. This looks like she has like short hair right here, but I don't know where the rest of it is. So yeah, some tendrily looking lines for the hair flying in her face, and then the rest is just going to be black with the highlights. So I'm going to do something similar, and I will walk you through it. But yeah, it's a cool page right there. I love Jim Lee's stuff. I could look at this all day. But anyway, there you go. There's some cool, lots of Psylocke action in this one. And she's fighting, what's his name? Is that Mojo 2, I think? Or maybe not, I forget, to be honest. But he's cool. Check that out. Alright, so anyway, a little bit of reference on Betsy, aka Psylocke. Alright, so I'm gonna do I'm gonna do thick black right here, and then yeah, and I'm gonna use a brush because with the brush I can do a lot of thin strokes and kind of get that feathering going on. Oh wait, that's not my brush. What the heck? Alright, I'm gonna have to move my paper a little bit, so if I go out of screen, I'm sorry. But, so, like, for instance, I'm going to start here. And I'm going to leave some lines for, to simulate some hair follicles going back. But then, all I'm going to do is take my brush, go really quick, and, gosh, that's not working. Sometimes you have to turn your brush to get that, let me go this way now, to get that thin spot that you want. There we go, there it is. So, and I'll stop it, I'll focus on that. So, here I'm creating the highlight look right there. Yeah, so you can see the feathering, it's kind of like real thin lines right there. Make it a little closer. There you go. On the front side there, it didn't kind of work out exactly how I hoped, but that is the look I'm going for. So, creating the highlights, and I'm noticing that her hairline is very high, which is not, we don't want to give her a high hairline. She's not losing her hair. So I'm going to come back in here. I'm going to draw. That's a good area to start for the top. And I want the bottom, or the side of her hair coming, starting here. Okay, leave that open. And I first I did a lot of small thin lines with like a 1 or a 2. So those I'll try and kind of like work around, and I'm just giving myself some, you know, something to work from. And I know like, okay, I can leave those lines out and just they'll be white lines, and I'll just go from there. And like I said, this area about here, I know I'm gonna have heavy, thick blacks. And then too, it'll bring her hand like forward to the foreground, because we'll have good separation because this is all black. And I could always leave a white halo around it if I wanted. I could do that if I wanted to, but I'm just going to do black all the way. And if I wanted, I can knock out a line. Or I could just come back in later with some white out and do some thin white lines if I wanted. We got options, man, we got options. And then I'm gonna do some more feathering. Am I still in frame? Yes, I am. Bring this up here. Find the good sweet spot on the brush and do some more feathering. And what I like to do is I like to go forward and then back. And then go forward again. Just kind of like switch it up. So something like that. So it's kind of like a wavy motion that I'm getting, you know, with the highlights. It's going back and forth, back and forth. It just, you know, it looks better than if it's just all just flat, or, you know what I mean, if it's just straight. That's not cool. And like our example we looked at earlier, kind of does that. Here, let's go back to our reference. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Ruler. So here, you know, it's round, it's not flat or straight, excuse me. You know, a little wavy. This is a little bit. But if you look right there, see how it goes back and forth, goes up and down, and then there's the sorry, can you see that? You know, kind of goes in and out. That's kind of the wavy effect I'm looking for. And then again here too, you know, it goes back and forth. It's not just straight. So you're given the look of, you know, the hair going back and forth. And also you can use this if you're doing, you know, like a leather jacket that's black, you know, creating like texture in the jacket, creases, you know, something similar you can do also on a jacket to show the folds and all that stuff. I'd have to look further to find something similar, but let me see here. Rob Liefeld. It's so funny to see like the Jim Lee style and then like to this, it's just like, it's so different. And like the faces, it's just like, it's kind of funny. But anyway, that's just because I'm a Jim Lee snob. I love Jim Lee stuff. Like, look at that. It's just like, oh, that's awesome. So here's Wolverine's hair. You know, it's dark, and then you have the highlights there. Look at that. Cable, Storm, Archangel. That's just like awesome right there, man. Okay, here's some leather jacket. This is the Punisher. Makes a little cameo. There's a little different way you can use a brush and kind of get that effect. But you know, again, you have the black and then you have the highlight, and it's not just straight. It's cutting back and forth. You know, not quite wavy, but it's back and forth. And it creates a better dimension to the stuff, man. All right. Anyway, back to the hair. So let me see, where am I at here? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back in with I'll use a 3, and I'm gonna start drawing some of these lines again, so that way I have kind of like a guide. So I know, oh, okay, I could leave that knocked out. I don't have to make it all black. Things like that. Here. If I wanted to do like a hair going across, I could do that. I could do another one like that, thin. And it's just, you know, creating cool action. It's giving another dimension to it. Thin lines over here. And then it'll stop probably about there. So kind of come back under here. So there you go. If you've ever noticed, if I'm drawing a head, here's something I noticed. What do I want to use? Let me see. Pencil. I'll use big, thick black marker. So here's your head, right? Boom. Hair. Boom. Ear, just so you're tracking with me. Nose. Okay. Boom. The hairline, right? Think of it in a diagonal kind of motion, right? You have the hair comes down here. So it's going to, I'm going to draw like a little diagonal line, like an imaginary diagonal line, right? And then it's going to come up, but then it's going to kind of go in a little bit and follow almost the contour of like his eyebrow, right? This goes in a little bit and then comes up and wraps around. And the back of the hairline kind of follows this diagonal line, right? So I always know, okay, here's some hair here. Okay, it's going to come up a little bit and in, and then it's going to, this and this are kind of going to match up. So in my head, these are all different, you know, measuring things I'm thinking of when I'm throwing down lines, and it helps me just remember. All right, I know that is going to be about there. You know, some guys have higher hairlines, like Cable. His is going to be whoop, like way over here, and that's cool too. But for the ordinary human being, it's going to be right about there. So just so you know. Boom! Oops. So let me... boom! Alright. There you go. Do you know who that character is? It is Colossus. Make his head bigger because he's huge. Bam! He's all shiny because he's metal. I'm Russian. Come at me, bro. I'll knock you over with my metal forehand. In your face. Alright, anyway. Okay. That was your hairline intermission. Back to inking Psylocke's hair. Okay, where's my brush? Now I gotta find my brush again. And I don't know what pen I sent flying over there, but I will get that later. Don't know where that went. Okay. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da. Okay, so I come back over here, flip my paper around. This is going to stay white. This is going to be black. Alright, so a lot of this is going to be black. I do want to get back and do some more highlights, so I'll do some here, because this hair looks like it's like it could be folding in on itself. So I'll do some there. This will be black. And the nice thing with the brush, it's got a very pointy tip, and I can get some like really thin lines and keep these areas white if I want them to be. And I'm going to come in here and stop it over there. So when I come back around here, it starts there, stops here. And again, just doing the wavy motion and feathering all that area there, so it goes into the highlight. Alright, so not super crazy, not super difficult. Just get a piece of paper, grab your brush if you have one, and try that out. So there you kind of see how that's going. You know, typically there's only one highlight, you know, one main highlight. If I wanted to do a little bit more back here, I could. Don't know that I do. But I do want to, all this is going to be black. And again, this is going to bring that hand forward, which is good. And once I get to this point, I'll determine if I want a little more highlight there. And because her, you know, psionic hand thing, whatever you call that, is going, that'll be glowing. And, you know, in colors, again, you kind of got to, you know, think about colors and what's going to be going on there. But, you know, you could have like a glow, which is going to go over the inks. So if there is a highlight back there, you might not even see it. Or it could be the highlight of this psionic, whatever, highlighting on her hair. So that could be pink, but whatever. I mean, again, it's just personal preference. Don't know that I need it, but I don't know if I'd like it if it was all black, so I'm going to try it with a little bit of another highlight over here. Just go with that, see how it goes. Color this black, leave a little halo around the little effects I did. But I'm going to want these to be skinnier, so these highlights over here, so I'm going to come in closer. And keep that knocked out there, because it's over top of it. Sorry, my head is banging against the camera. All right, and again, when I'm doing my feathering, I don't go this way, because typically the first part you throw down is thinner, and then it goes thicker. So if I did it this way, I'm going to get thicker strokes on the back stroke. So I flip it around, and I'm going to do thin strokes here, and then it gets thicker on this side. So that's how I want it. This will be here. Goes around the ear. Alright, so there you go. I'm going to do a little highlight here for sure. That'll be black. Her hair is flying up here because she's kind of like coming in on spiral. So there will be hair up here. Most of that'll probably be black with some, just some, you know, little white lines knocked out. But that is pretty much the gist of it. So there you go. I'm going to shut up and I'm just going to ink this. So if y'all have any questions, please feel free to shoot them to me in the comments section. I'm always ready, willing, and able to help anybody with questions. And yeah. So, just shoot them to me, bro. Or sister. Whoever be watching. In this part of the program, I'd like to give my endorsement for good movies. I saw 1917. Was it 1917 or 14? 1914? 1917, right? I forget. You know what I'm talking about. Great movie. Great war movie. Might have even liked it more than Saving Private Ryan. and I'll tell you why. Because the whole movie, the way they did it, it's almost as if it was shot in one take. The camera never stops rolling. I mean, it does, but only, honestly, in 4 places. So the whole movie is like, at the most, 5 scenes, but I'm going to say more like 4 scenes that they shot. So like 4 30-minute scenes to make the 2-hour movie. And my wife didn't even pick up on it, but I'm like, babe, they never stopped shooting. Like, the camera never stopped. And so the camera just follows them around the whole time. And so it just, like, it's totally immersive. It's like you just feel like you're there with them, and it's just like a thrill ride. It's awesome. My wife loved it, and she was thankful I pointed that out to her, because she had a lot more appreciation for it. But yeah, it was just, it's great. Saving Private Ryan was great too, and the movie itself has kind of like some similarities to that story, you know, but just great movie. So really well done, great acting, and yeah. And can you imagine, like, being the actor? Like, you gotta be on for, like, you can't you can't screw up. You gotta be on for 30 minutes, and it's like, wow. So really cool movie. So yeah. All right, so I got a lot of come in here and just gonna, and to the, you know, these hairs near the neck, they're gonna be thinner as they reach the skin, so I could do some thinner hairs here if I wanted, but you know, you get the idea. Don't have to overdo it. Don't want to do her neck too thick, so I'm going to do it there. Alright, now here, check it out. Her shoulder, right? Her shoulder is in front of her neck. Now, there's a weird thing going on here. This line of her shoulder is thinner, and then it gets thicker, but this thin line is in front of her neck, but her neckline is thicker. And so there's this weird thing going on where it's like, well, you don't know quite what to do with this area. So, but now if I make this shoulder thicker, your eye immediately will know, oh hey, look at that, her shoulder is in front of her neck. Wow. So now it's not a perfect line, but it's registering in my head, at least, that I know what's going on here, and I can now thicken this a little bit more because that line is so thick. So it's the push and pull thing going on, man. The thicker line comes forward, the thinner line goes to the back, and I want them to be where they're supposed to be properly. So I think I've done that. Okay, what else? I'm gonna ink that, and that's gonna be mostly black. But before I do that, check this out. Let me show you something. Where'd it go? Alright, so I recently had this printed. Yeah, how do I set this up? I recently did the He-Man picture. I showed to you in part 1, I think. But check it out, here's the colored version. Colors by Tio Gonzalez. This is the print of He-Man. Check that out. Came out great. So, picked this up today, and this is up on my store right now for purchase. It's only 20 bucks plus shipping for the paper version, and then I will have metal as well. I typically do 11 by 17, and I do a comic book size metal, and I will get this in metal because this is just like awesome. And here again is the original drawing. I drew it at 11. No, I drew it at 8.5 by 11, and then I scan it in, get it colored digitally, and this is on 11 by 17. So that's why it's so massive and huge. So there you go. Boom. Okay. Sorry, just thought I'd share that with you. I'm excited about it. It came out really good. And then, yeah. Okay. No, really, I'm gonna shut up now. I'm gonna shut up now, I promise, I promise. No, I'm not. I can't. Why would I shut up, man? There's my stream. Alright, yeah. Let's talk about Shadow Sentry. Okay, let's talk about Shadow Sentry. Thank you, random guy in the audience. I will talk about Shadow Sentry. So, yep, as soon as I finish these commissions, this commission, don't hate me, but I picked up another one, today. But it's a quick one, and should be done before next week starts. So when next week rolls around, I will be getting going on the Shadow Sentry. I have the script out to a few friends. They're taking a look at it for me, making sure all flows well, all makes sense, and so I'll make a few tweaks on that end. And yeah, I'm going to start charging for it on pages. I will stream that. I will show you my thumbnails to, I might even show you how I get it over on the computer and do my thing. I'll blow it up on 11x17 and then I will ink it and do a lot of the stuff I'm doing here. Alright, I think I could do a few like little hairs if I wanted. Not that I need to, but it kind of, you know, just adds a little thing there. Okay. So yeah. I'm really itching to get going on that because it's been so long, and then I keep, you know, it's like, oh, now I got to do commissions, and oh, I picked up another one, and so yeah. I almost told the guy on this other one, like, hey man, I can't do it, but I kind of already told him I would, so but here, let me see if I can find the one that I just did for him. So he writes a book, and this is his character. It is, gosh, I don't even know his name. I don't really care. But anyway, I want to say his name is Jordan Gunderson. He did the pencils, and so he sent them to me. The guy who's doing the book, not Jordan Gunderson, but so I printed out in red line. You can see the red under there, and then I inked it, and then I scanned it, and then I colored it as well. So yeah, this is one of the ones I just did, as well as this one, and then he just gave me another one. So I have another character to ink for his book. And then I'm going to color it, and I'm done. No more. I said no more. So, there you have it. Alright, I need this, because I'm going to go off the page over here. I'm going to do my, it's annoying, do my thin hair stuff. Yeah, this week is crazy. My daughter, she just turned a wonderful 8 years old, and so we're having her birthday party on Sunday, and I've got to get a bunch of stuff done around the house tomorrow. My boys have baseball tryouts tomorrow, and so got that going on. So there's just like a ton going on, and then I gotta start Shadow Sentry, man. So all right, there's that. That. Cool. I like it. Do you like it? I think it's working. I gotta, hold on. My eyeball's telling me there should be something right there. Or at least that line should go further. So I'm gonna bust out my whiteout. And whop. Shablooey. Maybe this one too? I don't know, maybe. Yeah. It works. Alright, maybe there's too many now. I could always cover it up if I want. But that is that. And then I don't think I want to do any highlights back here. I don't think I do. So I'm going to bust out my big black marker. And because I did a halo down here, I'm going to do a halo up there. So I'm going to turn this around. I still need this. Gonna do my halo line. I don't even call it a halo or not, I don't know. But you know what I mean. You know what's going on. I do want to, I'm going to kind of, oh, and this is going to stop here. I don't want to, these are just kind of flying around, but the black is going to start here. One of these lines does not belong. It is you. Yeah, I covered that up. Okay. So the Shadow Sentry book is going to start off with an awesome battle scene. Kind of battle. Yeah, it's a battle scene. It's like an alley chase scene kind of thing going on. And so I kind of introduce you to the villains, the main protagonist, and, well, yeah, the main protagonist, I will say, and his dilemma. And yeah, I'm excited because I like the powers that these particular villains have, and so it's gonna be fun to illustrate. Okay, I'll show you a little bit. You talked me into it. Alright, so there's that. And because this line, that line just looks funny hanging out there by itself. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make it look less funny. I'm going to go like this. And this line is going to go across it. Across it again. And then I'm going to darken the line that I drew. It's not so thin. It's kind of getting lost. So I'm going to darken that. Crap, messed that up. It's okay. Just make it black. It'll all go away. There. Okay, that works. She's got a lot of hair. Probably too much. I probably could have did that better. That works. It works. A little word on positive negative space for you folks, but the area in between her arm and her hair, that would be the, yeah, that'd be the negative space that these two objects are creating. And again, you kind of have to think of it in color, but this is going to be color, black, you know, with